Oh. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, YouTubers. This is Jerry Diamond with how to get out of Babylon. I'd rather be a doorkeeper in the house of my God than to dwell in the tents of wickedness. I'm going to upload a video. It'll be the next one, I think, about the dog standing doorkeeper yesterday morning. It was awesome. 16-degree night, and I wake up and listening to Psalms and Psalm 84 about I'd rather be a doorkeeper in the house of my God. And the dog's basically laying right at the door. So I talked about that. Pretty cool. So I did a video on that, and I'm uploading it now, and I may pull it down, but it's the only chance I would have to tell that story. May never happen again, so pretty cool. So I've figured out that I have basically when I'm going to sleep and when I'm waking up is times that I have to do videos, so I'm going to have to do it, I want to do cold weather survival, and not necessarily, and there's so many things I want to do. I want to read the Well-Fed Neighbor Alliance book, Handbook for County Restoration. I've already said that. I've got a lot of material on screenshots to do. I want to do a PowerPoint on lunar calendar. More and more people are realizing that, hey, there's a gigantic clock in the sky called the sun and the moon. And they've been there since creation, and they tell you what time it is, and they tell you when the divine appointments are, the Moedim. I want to do that. Awesome presentation. Not mine, but it's a phenomenal presentation. And I really want to do, if I can get a copy of it, I want to read the book, The Tracker by Tom Brown. And that would be on, regarding cold weather survival. If you can get a copy of that book, please do. If I can find an online version of it, I could do that. I've got a copy of it somewhere, but, it's who knows where, and when in one of 400 boxes, literally. So if anybody can find a link to the book, let me know. And if I can order one online, I'll do that next time I see any money. I got low memory, low battery here, so I need to just wrap this up. Maybe 4 or 5 minute video, I don't know. And I'm just beyond wiped out. The series, I retitled it. I asked you to read about and watch Ephraim's Rescue. I got a book about it. I got a hardback book about it called Devil's Gate. I think it was Devil's Gate, because that's where their final stand was. Their final, they were going to die if they weren't helped. And Ephraim Hank showed up with a cold, freezing, raw, dead buffalo meat that he prayed God would put a buffalo before him. It was late in the season, winter, one single solitary buffalo. He prayed the prayer in the movie. Maybe it didn't really happen, but, why? Totally believable. Miracles happen. In the movie, he's bowing. He's got his Hawken rifle in his hand, and he bows his head over his saddle and prays, "Put a buffalo before my eyes," and looked up and sees a buffalo standing about 200 yards away and says, "Lord, what took you so long?" Fires and walks up, skins it, guts it, dices it up, big Bowie knife, that he later used to amputate many limbs of the people there to save their lives because they were gangrene. And rides up to him with buffalo meat. Now, maybe it was still warm. It probably was, not frozen, but he hands out raw chunks of buffalo meat, and they start eating it. And one woman looks up to him and says, "You and God have rescued us. For this you shall be known through generations." Well, I did a Ephraim's Rescue. I went out to the plains. I drove all the way to Pensacola, Florida. Got Brother Shannon here. YouTube channel, Stone Kingdom of Yahweh. He's lost his email password, so he's going to have to start another one. Mirror, whatever, and upload what videos he has. But he lost his phone. He's lost a lot. I spent every penny I had to go get him. And he paid me back for that. And he's hoping to get some insurance money. And State Farm, is jerking him around totally. Anyway, long story, but this was a rescue mission. And people, I don't know. I came back from that and I said, Lord, I give up. I'm just, all I'm getting is grief and heat and opposition and criticism, ridicule, and what do you do? I mean, I think I would do more good just doing nothing and praying, and that's definitely an option. But it happened. I got him back here. He said, if we reconnect, I will never leave your side. And he will be a massive help. Please pray for him. He's been through a lot. I mean, massive amounts of just far worse than me. I don't even feel sorry for myself for anything, And it's all been a learning experience, and I'm hoping that he can learn some things, and I don't know, he told me one day he prayed, why am I here? What do I need to learn? And when can I leave? So just be in prayer for him. Been through a lot. Wife divorced him. I mean, I had a wonderful divorce. I mean, compared to his, his wife stole everything except what he had in the van. Now the van got totaled. So if anybody out there cares about anybody in the world, please help him out. I'm not even asking for me. Just I can give you his phone is all he's got. Not even an email, but if anybody's willing to help out, that would be a blessing. And this is what I intended to do, Ephraim's Rescue, to go out and help people. Go and help those out on the plains. And that I've said before that story, that crazy saga of these poor immigrant, penniless Mormon converts walking from Illinois to Salt Lake City, and many of them died because it was a well thought out plan, but they left. Two companies left too late in the season, and the Martin Handcart Company, the last one, the fifth one that year. There were 10 total trips. I think they did 5 more the next year, but that year the Martin Handcart Company left too late. The one before them left, and they some people died, but not as many as the Martin Company. Point is, with a handcart, you can walk across the United States. So don't need a covered wagon. You don't need a vehicle. And I am telling you that story was massively prophetic. In fact, one of the Mormon elders, I think he was back east, but he said the day will come when millions of people will be coming with their children in their arms. And it will be up to the saints of Zion to go out and bring them in. And there was a beautiful song on YouTube, Bring Them In, by Catherine Nelson. It may still be out there, but there was a version of it that was on. It was just an absolute stunning presentation with photos and pictures and stuff, and I think maybe shots from the movie. But I got to watch my time on this because it'll blow up if I don't. So, but please watch that movie. Get a book about it. Read about it. Read online about it. It is prophetic. It's just like the Peshtigo fire in Wisconsin. Absolutely prophetic. The same day of the Chicago fire, 200 people died. The whole world knew about the Chicago fire. Well, 2,500 people died in Peshtigo and around Peshtigo, Wisconsin. Nobody cared. Nobody knew about it. To this day, nobody knows about it hardly. There's but what happened was 2 things. The roads were corduroy, macadam, invented by a Scottish man. corduroy roads to go over the mud and stuff. The roads burned. They couldn't get out with anything. Nobody could get in with anything, and nobody knew what would happen, because the second thing that happened was, guess what? The telegraph poles were made from wood, and they burned. There was no communication. Nobody knew about it. To this day, like I said, hardly anybody knows about it. So very providential, very prophetic. When the proverbial shit hits the fan, when judgment falls, not going to be able to travel on roads, and you're not going to be able to have any communication. So all you people out there that are listening to this, please listen and hear, and listen, people. Because you can drive now, or you can walk later. And if you don't want to help, fine. You know, be that as it may. Some of us are going to continue to try to help people. But you people out there sneering in your big homes and your big SUVs and, you know, whatever, day's going to come when you're going to regret not listening. So, trying to do something here for everybody out there, and it's going very slowly, shall we say. So, I just pray that the message gets out there. Drive now or walk later. DNOWL. DNOWL. This is Jerry Diamond. If you're listening to this, you are part of the remnant. You're part of the resistance. Peace, shalom, and Shiloh. Shiloh means tranquility, so shalom and Shiloh, peace and tranquility to all you out there listening. I know some people are watching these videos, but they're not listening. I would like to see somebody get involved here. Some of those young men out there with vehicles and capability and even military experience that can go out and help people. There's a bunch of people out there that are ready to do it. They just don't know the message. So get it out there. Thank you. Bye.